Hey, so I'm just doing some testing, and I'm telling you, in this game, laning does not matter, right? In fact, CSing is almost irrelevant, right? It's all about kind of team fighting, and basically the game right now is ARAM, right? If you just summarize, what did um, what did Summoner's Rift turn into? Now it's ARAM, okay? Like your laning phasing, your backing, doesn't matter anymore because look. Looks 4 kills, 9 assists, 1 death, 55 CS, has almost the same amount of gold as me, who has 210 more farm than she does. Just think about the number. 210 more farm than Lux, and she has almost the same amount of gold as me. Right? So you see like all this kind of farming, correctly backing, leveling up doesn't now in my previous video I showed you why leveling doesn't matter, because 5 levels down a Mumu with 2 items can still do 60% of Trindamir's damage with just 2 abilities, right? So you're saying, okay, like back in the days there was, if you have a level advantage, that's about 650 to 750 gold, right? But now in the game, there's so much crowd control and everybody does so much damage, you cannot utilize this gold anymore. Does that make sense? Right. So all this kind of farming, all this stuff that I enjoy doing, like playing correctly in the lane, backing correctly, stealing the camps of the jungler, doesn't really matter because the game is ARAM. Like if let's say you have 50 farm, if the guy gets 2 assists, he's now equal gold to you. Just think about the number, right? She has 55 CS, right? And she's almost the same gold as a guy who has 258 farm. Do you see the problem, right? So again, look at the difference. Like this guy is level 12, 105 farm, and he is 4,000 gold down, even though he is like worse than half CS. That's my lane opponent, right? So all I have is 1 extra item on him, right? And in today league with so much crowd control, like unless you're a tank, then that item. But you see, if you're a tank, you won't be able to get to the CS level, right? It's unrealistic with a tank to get to this CS. So that's what I'm saying, is that the game is a RAM right now. All you do is you pick a wombo combo, you run it down mid with your team, and you get the Reef Herald, and off you go through the mid all the way into inhibitor. You take the dragons. You can almost ignore the side lanes at this stage. I would go as far as to say, just go into the middle, get some kills, get the Reef Herald, and steamroll through the mid, and that's it. That's how the game is played, right? Or alternatively, take teleport, take my fight, teleport bot lane, um, and just one shot, and just use your R to kill the bot lane, and that's it, right? So like I'm playing super low elo, and I'm just experimenting and just seeing how I'm trying to kind of see the code of the game, so to speak. Like just look in the back end to see how the system actually works, what's happening. And in low elo, it's very easy to spot things, right? Very easy to spot things. Like you see, for example, I have gazillion losses and few wins. So every single game that I play, my team crushes. Every single game. Every single game. I'll show you. Look, like you have to understand, I'm not really participating in the game at all. If you look at my damage dealt, I don't do anything. Do you see? I just like I just do damage so they F off from me, right? Because sometimes like junglers, they come around, they try to interfere with my kind of farming or whatever, like my objective to do. like these guys, I have to smack them a couple of times so they understand to F off, right? Like this guy, he tried to gank me a couple of times. I smacked him and chunked him for like 90% of his HP, and he had to run away. That's where this damage is coming from. It's not like I'm actively trying to kill somebody. You know what I mean? I'm just using it as a kind of like F off or you die thingy. But look, every single game, you see, every single game, my lane crashes. Look, I was playing support Master Yi. Now, the only reason why I went for quadra kill in this game is because the game was already won. I was just stealing farm from my team, and this guy somehow ended up losing. They only had Garen, who was good. The rest was just outrageously bad, just like so bad. This guy just left the lane for no reason, started going mid. I don't know what the hell he was doing. This guy started, he killed one time the bot lane, and then all of a sudden he is now the faker, and he started trying to kill everyone basically on the map for no reason whatsoever. And he was playing support. It was a very strange game. But as you can see, like most of my games, my team is just destroying. Look, mid lane, 5-0. Actual jungler, 14 kills. Top lane, I was stealing this guy farm all the time. And he still ended up performing okay. Right? He had no farm, I think, right? Yeah, look at my CS, 339, and he had 74. It's because I stole all of his farm. It's really funny to play Tryndamere and like support jungle. You make so much farm. It's crazy. But the problem is you don't make a lot of gold because there is like a penalty if you're I don't know if your gold from lane as a jungler is more than 40% than from minions or something like that. You get like 1 gold per minion. So this farm is kind of waste of your time, honestly. But the number is cool. Like 339 farm. How many? The game was 29 minutes, right? So 11.7 farm per minute. That's pretty cool. This guy was farming. This game was farming as well. But look at their team. They're all crap. Mid laner like 2-7. This guy's okay. Top lane is okay. Oh, I fed top laner in here. This guy was going like 0-4. And then I was like, I need to rescue this guy. I need to make him win. And I gave him like double buffs twice. So he was able to win this matchup. Even though he was losing. But I have to say, when you play low elo, like really low, it's very easy to see the system, right? When you play on like platinum diamond level, like mid platinum, low diamond, the games seem a little bit balanced, but when you analyze games, they're not. But in game, it's very hard to see like those massive misbalances between the teams. But when you play in this elo, like iron elo, like it's so easy to see that the game is not balanced. You know what I mean? Like this guy, look, he just picks Tahm Kench. I bet you he never played Tahm Kench in his life. Yeah, he's a Vayne main. Look, he mains ADC, he also plays jungle and Yoni at the same time. Oh, he's out of field. But I have to say, Tahm Kench is such a shitty champ. You can't do, as a Tryndamere, you can't do anything against him, honestly. Just a brain dead, completely brain dead champion. Too much damage, unkillable. But I capitalized on farming in here. But I wasn't trying to win the game. My objective was just to steal the farm and see how the game plays out. And that's it. I was stealing farm from both, from my side and from the enemy side. Right. So you see like why that this guy has such low farm. That's because I stole all of it. And this guy you see has no farm because I stole all of it. But the problem, the difference between this and this guy is because this guy kept dying. And he kept chasing me for no reason. Like, dude, like he was like level 4, I was like level 7 or 8. Like, you're not catching a Tryndamere with these items. Like, you just not, it's not gonna happen. He didn't even have shoes, you know what I mean? And then this guy tried to chase me, and then this guy tried to chase me. Well, these guys just kept dying all the time. But I'm telling you, what is League of Legends right now? It's ARAM, right? What you should focus on. Well, first of all, you can't win the game because you're coin flipping, right? If you want to have consistent wins, you have to buy an account that has like 0 wins and 60 losses. And then every game you'll be placed into Smurf queue, where Smurfs are on your side, and you just steamroll the enemy until your win rate to loss rate is gonna be 50%. Then you'll be placed back into like it's gonna be losers, winners, losers, winners queue, right? So, but if you're playing the game, then think of it as ARAM and a card game, right? Your objective is just to draft a wombo combo. Your objective is not to farm well, is not to kind of back well, control the wave well. All of that is season 5, season 4 stuff. That's gone. It's not in the game anymore. Your objective is to pick a crowd control area of effect, some bullshit like Malphite or Volibear or who else is Gragas, like Yoni, Yasuo, some like Misfortune, Nautilus, right? This kind of beefy shit, Amumu, right? That does shitloads of damage, is unkillable, and has shitloads of area of effect crowd control, right? So that's the game. It's ARAM, right? If you have this wombo combo, you don't care about the lane. Just make sure you teleport in time and just whatever. Dragon fights, you press R, everybody presses R, enemy team evaporates. Most of the time, you're probably gonna win because the enemy team will not draft a wombo combo, right? If you draft a wombo combo, you pretty much guaranteed to win. But like this is solo queue, so it's very random. So I'm just telling you, you won't get higher than like 55% win rate probably, unless you quit your job and start playing full time and wasting time on a children's game, trying to become a challenger player. Even then, you still might lose games in silver and gold, even as a challenger player. Because you see, as game progresses, right? Uh, Riot does not want solo carriers in the game, right? They do not want you to have like 15,000 gold and then you are capable of 1v5ing their entire team. That's why you see items like this. Um, Athena chains or something like that, I think it's called, right? LOL item. Anathema's chains, this item here. Yeah, you see? It's a very cheap item and it counters a fed champion. Do you see? 30% reduced damage. And your crowd control is increased against that person, right? So if you're some kind of like whatever Amumu, right, jungler, or your Malphite, right, you just buy this item, and now Fed Riven or Fiora can't really do much in a team fight against you because your crowd control is increased. And like if you're the only person fed on your team, their entire team is gonna buy this. Now, which next then you say, okay, so I need to play something with mixed damage, right? Something like Jax, for example, okay? Now, the problem with Jax is his laning phase is very, very bad. He gets counter-picked by almost everyone in the game. And there is an item, this one, Gargoyle Plate, okay? This item here. It's so cheap for the value it gives. It's ridiculous, and it completely counters jacks, right? Because it gives you defense against both of his damage types. And of course, if you buy this and this together, Jax is now doing absolutely no damage to you whatsoever. You don't give a shit about Jax anymore, right? So that's what I'm saying, is like the game is now ARAM. Welcome to League of ARAM. All right. So like the reason why I'm flaming is because I'll watch a lot of like, well, not a lot. I used to watch a lot of those coaching videos, and they talk about laning phase. They talk about warding correctly, um, freezing the wave, slow pushing, shoving the wave, bouncing the wave, crashing the wave. And then, like, you see, when you analyze your gameplay, you realize you've done all of those things and you still lose to Malphite. Do you understand? Because it's a counter pick, right? It doesn't matter. You can, I don't know, you can have 300 CS. Malphite could have 50, but he's more useful than you in a team fight because you're like Malphite against Tryndamere. Or you could be Aurelia into Teemo. There is nothing you can do as Aurelia against Teemo. Do you know what I'm saying? So likewise, like if you're Aurelia, you're playing against Teemo, there is absolutely nothing you can do. There's nothing you can, there is no skill level at which you become useful. Likewise, you could be the best Riven in the world, the best Master Yi ever. Perfect jungling, perfect timing, perfect pathing, everything is perfect. But their entire team is wombo combo, and every team fight, you just get melted before you even press a button. Okay? So that's what I'm saying, is that what is important? Your skill on a champion and your skill in lane, how you macro, or drafting a wombo combo. Is it a card game or is it a skill game? The answer is it's a card game. And that's it. And you have to accept it, right? If you don't believe me, play one-on-one and try to outplay your counter picks, all right? Pick a champion, like let's say you're some kind of diamond player, and get gold player to counter pick against you. And look what happens, right? After 2 or 4 games, the gold player will figure out exactly what to do to make sure that you don't win the game, right? Now, like, if you don't believe me, like, pick Faker. Let's do this. Pick Faker, right? And say, Faker, I want you to play Katarina, and then call me and say, let's play ARAM. I pick Tryndamere, and Faker plays Katarina. There is no way on the face of this galaxy Faker is going to beat me. Tryndamere into Katarina. There is no way he can, because I played this matchup so many times. There is absolutely nothing he can do to win the game. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that, like, Faker is clearly, his skill, his dodging abilities are clearly the best ever, right? He's the best player ever, but he cannot beat me with Katarina because it's a card game, and I have a better card. So that's what I'm saying. Just abandon the idea that there is skill in this game. It's all about counter picking. And in fact, like, if you're trying to climb, I'm a little bit sick, so if you're trying to climb, you're pretty much wasting your time. I'll just go as far as to say, like, if you're trying to climb in this game, you're just wasting your time. Play normals, play one-on-one, play ARAM. The more seasons happen, so this is season 12, the more of a ARAM wombo combo the game becomes. It's essentially a card game at this stage, right? So your skill is kind of like not really that important. Okay, take care.